Hello friends, welcome to Biological Life Sciences channel. Today in this video, we are going to see how to write a review of literature for a thesis or a project work. Okay, so today we are going to invite uh, one of the research fellow. His name is Mr. Mahendra Palecha. He has completed his MSc in biotechnology. He is NET and get cleared. He's working. He has worked at National Institute of Oceanography Goa as a project assistant second level from 2015 to 2017. He has been selected for PhD at IIT Kanpur and worked as research fellow from 2017 to 2019. He is founder and director of healthy food startup Vitamin H Private Limited in Bangalore since 2020. So we are getting such a person in for our today's uh, topic, that is how to write a review of literature. We have joined along with him Mr. S.C. Kulkarni sir, head Department of Biotechnology, Vivekananda College, Kolhapur. So let's start with the review of literature. First of all, I would like to welcome Kulkarni sir for this topic. Welcome, sir. Uh, Now let me welcome Mr. Mahendra Palecha and ask him to deliver his topic, that is how to write a review of literature.
Before initiation of the session, I would like to welcome our prominent alumni, Mahendra Palecha, for this session to explain how to write a review of literature. So, on behalf of Department of Biotechnology, I heartily welcome Mahendra for initiation of the session. Thank you very much, sir. So I'll start the session. Yeah. The today's topic is how to write a literature review. So, importantly, when we starting writing of literature review for either a project or a paper, so what is a literature review? Literature review is not just combining of the articles and write it in a chronological way, but it is survey of scholarly articles which are having authentic sources, peer-reviewed journals from the books and the other sources to relevant to the topic whatever we are selected to write for the literature review, and its purpose is to demonstrate that the writer has critically surveyed the relevant topic. It's not just writing about the whatever result they have found, but it is about how it is right or wrong in the context of others also. So the review should be unbiased. So now, how to start a literature review? So important in starting of literature review, the planning is very important. So the planning starts from the topic. The topic of selection, then the gathering of the data or the research article or the references from authentic sources. Then reading and research. Reading and research, in that we have to thoroughly read whatever sources and the references we have got, and from that analyze those observations and results from those sources, and then write it in a proper way. So we'll discuss how the way we should start. And third is analyzing. Analyzing in such a way that so whatever results they have found in the research article or any other statistical sources or the websites like WHO, CDC, cancer.gov, so we can analyze the data what they have found, and then we can combine the data from different sources, and we can compare how research study present in the each paper are differed or similar or supporting each other. Then, fourthly, drafting. Drafting in a way, so we have to arrange it in a like introduction, thesis part, and the conclusion. The conclusion is from our review. So what we we have concluded from the literature survey. And revising. The revising is one of the most important tasks because it is not like we will gather all the data which is required for the this literature review. So whatever the sources and whatever the research article we have to revise and see if is there any loophole is there, so that we can properly fill it with some other supporting data. Okay. Then first, starting with the how to organize a review writing. Okay. So there are different ways to arrange the review. Now we can easily start with the according to theme. So we can decide a theme for our literature review of literature, and according to theme, like if we have decided to write a literature review on a diabetes, so then we can start with the disease. So then what is the disease? Then what is the diabetes? How diabetes occur? What are the different studies have done on the diabetes? And then what are the whatever is now going on this research in the field of diabetes, in the field of treatment, or maybe in the diagnostic purpose, or anything like related to genetics or ethnicity, anything. So or according to theme or theory or the trend. Trend is like, so like if we'll say trend, then in the field of genomic sequencing, so first came like from the start of the Sanger sequencing to the next generation sequencing. So how like when we say the next generation sequencing, there are different methods in the next generation sequencing too. So how they found and how one is better or other, it's not like one is the best. Even though the next generation sequencing is there, we still use the Sanger sequencing for the crucial things. So why we use, how we use, so this is how we can arrange and organize our review. Then we can again organize the review of literature in according to the subject. So subject, in a way, if we just want to write about a science, then we can start like not just a science, like a biology. So biology is a part of science. Then it is there are different parts of the biology like zoology, botany, biotechnology, microbiology, virology. So according to subject, we can start the review. Then the simplistic one. So it is like whatever study found, the earliest one will come early, and however the advances were going on, or the advances are there. So we can just write. So whatever happened during the period of 1950 to 1990, then 1990 to 2000, like that. So chronological arrangement. And last is the according to use of argumentative position. This is one of the most important organization in the review of literature. So argumenting position is it is irrespective of the subject or the chronology or the theme or the theory. It is like when we are writing any statement, we can cite which is in support of the same statement or which is opposed in the same statement. So it may be the chronologically before or ahead, or in a thematic. It can be means when we are arranging in a theme base. So it can be any kind. But when we support for any argument, so it is the simplistic way. So whatever statement we are writing, so for the in the support of that statement, we can just organize a review. Then the according to author, which is a very crude way, and this does not follow any of the proper review, because if when we go according to author, the authors the however the authors have done the work, it may be in a for their lab, it may be in a proper way. But when we look at the science in the scientific community, it is not always, because when any scientist publish one research article or a paper or any research anywhere, and when he will publish a next of his research article, there may be so many gaps and loopholes. So if we'll arrange it according to the authors, So it is not at all a good way to write any literature review. Then, how to select a topic? The topic of selection of the topic is very important because the field is very vast. Okay, so first of all, we can discuss with you can discuss with your professor or a research project guide, whomever. So on that, and you can select on the basis of that what are the subjects you are comfortable with, like what are the topics you think you can understand easily so that you can write properly. Always keep in mind, writing anything, either it's a research article or a book or a review of literature, it is important that to understand when we write, it is just not for us, it is for the reader. So you should always write any research article from the reader's point of view. So you should understand what is the level of reader who is reading that research article. So it can be a layman language when it comes to the newspaper or the magazines, but when it comes to the research article, it should be in a highly specific way. Then, even you can analyze a wide array of resources, like you can just use a Google Scholar or the NCBI for the selection of topics. So from on the basis of your interest. So in that you can also read the reference books, already published articles. So it is when we are selecting already published articles, it is very important that you should only select the peer-reviewed journals or the peer-reviewed articles only, because there are so many thousand number of research magazines are there, but very few of them are authentic, like they thoroughly review the whatever the research is going to publish, and they decide whether it is the topic or the research paper is eligible to publish or not, or it is just means the repetition of what is already done. Okay. And another thing is, it is very easy to start the selected topic from the already published articles. So you can just type any topic, whatever you want, on a Google Scholar, and on the basis of citations. So on the basis of citation, you can choose on which topic you can write. So it is easier way to write on this topic. Okay. Then third is area of interest for exploration. Then if our area, like if we are writing, if you are working in the field of enzymes or the enzyme kinetics or the biostatistics or the computational method, bioinformatics, so we can search on the basis of that. But when we go into that, so there are again number of topics. So we have to narrow down the topic. It is not like we can just write the review on the bioinformatics. No, it is because in the bioinformatics field, there are again the protein research is there, the DNA research is there. So it is RNA level research is there, gene level research is there. So according to that, again we have to narrow down and then find your niche. So once the topic is selected, the evaluation of topic should be done. So first is the providing of unbiased and accurate information. Why unbiased? Because most of the scientists in the field, they also write a review which are biased, only supporting only supporting for their study. So whatever the articles or the study does not support to their own study, they do not write about that. So this is not a right way to write any review of literature when we are writing at a graduate level or an postgraduate level. And the accurate information in the sense, you should never take any of the information from just a news articles or any magazines or any random Google search or any website. Like Wikipedia is not at all a standard reference source. Anybody can just edit it. So you cannot say that whatever written on the Wikipedia is right or wrong. So then what should select? So you can select the reference books which are already in use or in your syllabus, or you can just use research magazines like Nature, Cell, Science, So nature genetics, nature nanotechnology. There are so many research articles which are peer reviewed and which are very well known. So you can select the research articles from their magazines. Okay. Then important is in the topic, the whatever sources you are using, it should be peer reviewed. Third, use of authentic websites are very important. When you are doing literature review and you want some statistics to support your review, you can get those statistic information from very huge number of different government websites or the health institute like NIH, CDC, Center for Disease Control, Cancer.gov, Diabetic Atlas, TCGA. So the TCGA is the Cancer Genome Atlas. So on that website, so they have already gathered whatever the data is published in the world, and which is only authentic and peer reviewed. They save the statistics or the data from their articles also, and they have their own data also, which is sorry, which is freely available. And even that, so many so many of these websites also provide some tools to analyze this data, like cancer.gov give you a number of tools where you can just analyze the RNA sequencing data, the whole exome sequencing data, or the gene for any of the next generation sequencing data only related to cancer. And there are more than 32 types of cancer. The data is available on the cancer.gov. And in the diabetic atlas, so they have number of different studies which shows that how the diabetes is related with the genetics or the obesity or the ethnicity or the BMI. So the statistics related to the different countries also is available on these types of websites, and it is also available for the small group of the people which they have studied. Okay. So then, once you have selected your topic, the organization of topic is important. So organization is very important because if your data is not well organized or the literature is not well organized, it will be just can be seen as just putting of the facts together. So that's why the organization important. So how to organize? First of all, just take any notebook and you can make a outline from your research. So in the outline, you can just write what should come first, and after that, what will come later, what will come later. So like that, you can first outline it, and on the basis of that, you can just organize that whatever the proper relevant way for your review. Then make notes and decide the chronology of the article. Again, when you are selecting any studies or, from the books or the research article, it is important to only include the important study. It is like, so there are n number of studies on just a single topic. If you are just going for a prostate cancer, there are thousands or lakhs of research articles are present for the prostate cancer. But from that, what is what you want to say means what is the actual topic of your research is important. It's like when you are writing on a whatever the gene which are upregulated in a prostate cancer, it is important that you should only focus on the upregulated genes in prostate cancer. You can just reduce the downregulated genes, or you can reduce the cancer progression, the analogy, the not the analogy, the anatomy of the prostate cancer. So you can just reduce all this, whatever the studies related to that. You can only stick to the upregulated genes. But again, in that also, the upregulated genes only select the whatever the significantly upregulated gene, because in again the cancer there are thousands of genes are just an upregulated. So some are relevant to the prostate cancer and some are just because of the any of the symptom or so anything, it can be just upregulated. So it is like the select only include the important studies in the review of literature. Then avoid the exaggerated quotation. Yes, that is very important. Yes, we feel when we have around 50 to 100, when we read 50 to 100 articles, then we feel okay. From every article, we feel that okay, this is important. Oh yes, this is also important. So if you feel that 10 or 15 comments are very important from the same paper, but you cannot include all those 15 comments from this only single paper to your review of literature, because then it will be just it will be very biased study, one thing, and another thing is you will be short of the you means the information is very fast, so you can never complete it in a proper way. Okay. And then never write like Dr. XXX said this in this year, or Dr. XX did this that, or Dr. XX observed this. So just don't write it whatever the scientists or authors have done in that research, rather than you critically analyze that whatever the scientists have done and what they concluded from that, and then decide what is the important thing from the paper you should include, and whether you should include or not, that you should decide. Then once you organize, the drafting of review should be done. So the drafting should follow whatever the topic outline you have already made previously. Then demonstrate. Demonstrate the consistencies and the relationship between the literature you have studied. So it is like when you are writing, when you have taken a reference from one paper and you are writing about some gene, and that's another paper is consistently saying why the gene can be upregulated because of any metalloproteins or any enzymes or any other gene, you can just show the relationship that the paper XX shows that this gene is upregulated, while this group of scientists have studied this can be due to the other fact, whatever that research article seeks. Okay, so this is what we have. This is what is called the argumentative study. So we are supporting our one statement with the study from the other research. So this is very easy to write a review of literature when you go with the argumentative statement. So you support, or sometimes it is like some paper says that this gene is upregulated, but the another author says no, this gene is not upregulated, but this is just an implication of something else. So you can just argument that this XX gene is upregulated according to this scientist. They did this, but from the group of scientists, they have said that it can be implication, and why they are right and who is right. So you can comment on that. So it will be a very good review when you are going showing the argumentative studies. Then only give importance to stronger studies. Now, how to decide which study is stronger? So, a stronger study is like you can choose on the consistent methods, like whatever the most relevant methods they have used to support that study. It is simply like if someone is saying that the enzyme amylase is very much high in some XX culture, just on the basis of the agar that starch plate, but if but if the other group of scientists they have studied, they have extracted the amylase from the another bacteria or the same bacteria, and they have shown the gram the a milligram of protein from the culture, that this is the exact or the means this is the amount of amylase they have found from the bacteria. So it means their method is more accurate than just a starch agar plate. So on the basis of like this, you can just select whatever are the stronger studies. Okay. Then make the implications of your information and any suggestions for further research. It's like when you are writing a review and you found that the study has been done up to this point, but you from the reading and from the information you found that there is a loophole, or if we can do something else, then you can also mention that whatever is your idea about the information for the future. It's like simply when we say that when you come across the study that it says that the gene X is upregulated during the third stage of the prostate cancer or the metastasis case of prostate cancer. But in the same in a different study which says that during the metastasis, this transcription factor is highly upregulated, and distantly you found that this transcription factor also regulates the gene X. So you can comment that how the gene X may how the transcription factor may affect the gene X, so that the gene X is going upregulated in the metastasis. So this is the loophole, like the transcription factor is there, the gene X is upregulated, both are upregulated, but we don't know what is the actual mechanism by which the transcription factor may be responsible for the upregulation of gene X. Now, this is the sample of transition. So, like we have already discussed, the transition is very important. Your study should not be look like just putting of facts together in a chronological way. It's like this paragraph is reproduced from the hallmarks of cancer, the next generation. This is one of the very famous review article in the field of cancer research, which are having more than 53,000 of citations. The Hanahan and Weinberg, these are the two scientists who has published this article. So they have published two articles. One article was published in the year of 2000, named as Hallmarks of Cancer. So in that they have gathered the data from the different sources and the literature or the reference books, and because before them nobody has organized all the different hallmarks of cancer, and nobody said so these are the hallmarks of cancer. So these two scientists have gathered all the information, means not all, most of the information from the relevant sources, and they showed how there are 6 major hallmarks which are present in the cancer, which can say if any of the hallmarks is seen as a symptom, then it can be an indication of cancer. And then in the year of 2011, so from the last 10 years, again, whatever the research is carried out, on the basis of that, they again added 3 more hallmarks, and thus they again published the new research article stated as Hallmarks of Cancer, the Next Generation. So in this sample paragraph, we can see the red color words indicate the transition they have used from one sentence to another sentence. So you should not just put that in 2004 the scientist as the one has did this full stop, and again you are just going, and in 2005 this scientist has done this. So this is not at all a proper way to write a review. Here we can see that how it is written: the remarkably the precise identities and sources of the proliferative signals operating within normal tissue were poorly understood. A decade ago, in general, remain. So, moreover, it's like in the first sentence they have told what was there in the decade ago, like from the year 2000, what we know, but how after in recent research what is happened, like moreover we still know relatively little about the mechanism. So like this, so like in part, such, in addition. So you should decide that what should be written, what should be used for the transition of the sentences. You should not just write moreover, however, firstly, secondly, lastly, furthermore. No, you should decide how to transition from one statement to the next step. So to understand this, that what should be written in from the first statement to second statement, it is very easy. It is very important. You read some of the review articles which are already there in the field and which are having a good number of citations. Or like this, the hallmark of cancer. You can just read this review. It is one of the best cancer review article which is published. Next, from start to end. So, at the start, you just introduce the topic, whatever you have selected. Okay, explain the literature review in a way in the introduction that whatever the topic you have selected, introduce the topic and the problem. So, what is why you have selected the topic? Mention that, and what is already known from that about that topic. Then the important part is a thesis. Thesis part is like the middle part of the review. So in that you establish a logical progression. It's like the arguments or the chronological way, whatever you have decided, the plan or outline. And last is the conclusion. The conclusion is not from the sources you have taken, it is the conclusion of your review of the literature. So, whatever the literature you have written, from that, what you have concluded. Because every study has done and they have concluded on their own, on the basis of their own study. So you can just gather their data, means gather the information from the different sources, and you can conclude what is your literature review say. Like in the in the uh, in the last slide, what we have seen, the from the hallmarks of cancer, they have studied the different research articles, and in the conclusion, they said that there were 6 hallmarks of cancer in the 2000, and then in 2011, when they published it's the next level, the next generation, they said rather than 6, there are 9 hallmarks of the cancer. So this is the conclusion of their review of literature. So this is what we say the conclusion is. And importantly now, what are the things to avoid? The things to avoid is, do not use unprofessional language. Like never use a layman language, like whatever is used for the newspaper or the magazines. Always use a professional scientific language for the never just copy paste the some of any from any of the reference book or any of the research article. The writing a review or writing a paper, it is the interpretation of the data. So you can see what their data says, and you can conclude on the on your own. You should not just copy and paste. Then only use quotations when needed. As I already said, so if you feel that 5 to 10 quotations or the statements from one single paper are, you find it's very important, but again keep in mind, so if you put the only from those one single paper all the quotations, then your review will be biased and it will not properly studied. Then should not your review of literature should not be read like just a list of facts, as I already mentioned. Okay, then how you can avoid this, that you just gather the facts whatever you have got from the references and the articles, and then use the transitions to develop fluency like we have seen in the previous slides, and then show the relationship between the literature you have studied. Like if this study says this study says this, so if one is supporting other, then you can positive relationship you can show that how this study has studied up to this level, and then the next level was studied by the new group of scientists or the same group of scientists, whatever. Okay, and then write your review in a paper format. Why to write in a paper format? So when you are a graduate student or a postgraduate student, important thing is reading a paper and writing a paper. Because if you can do now, you can read a paper effectively. So when you are reading a paper, you need not be. It is not needed to read every single word from a say every paper. No, it's not like you have to decide what is the important to read and what is to avoid. So in that way, you can easily read more papers at a time, and you can understand more easier. Thank you. So now I'll show you one of the review, whatever I was saying. So this is the hallmarks of cancer, the next generation. So in this, we can see here. So these are the 6 different hallmarks of cancer, which they have shown in the year of 2000. Okay, so evading growth suppressor, activating invasion and metastasis. So these all 6 hallmarks were stated in a different papers. So they collected the information, and on the basis of that, they come across that these 6 hallmarks of cancer are there. But then in the year of 2011, they again when they studied all this, when they found that, here we can see, I'll show you the in this we can see that, like, how they have shown. So what are the emerging hallmarks? So 6 they have already shown, and the 4. So why they seen this 4? So according to the whatever the research articles have shown in the last decade, so from 2000 to 2010 or 11. So in the 2011, they included this genome instability and mutation, deregulation of cellular genetics. So as the scientific advancement was seen, it can be seen that the genomic instability, which is studied using the next generation sequencing, the cellular energetics are the sophisticated techniques like the GCMS, LCMS, HPLC, or NMR. They have shown that how cellular energetics is also important in the cancer progression. Okay, and this is one of the again. This is a review article from our own lab, my previous lab, the molecular discriminators of racial disparities in prostate cancer. So in this paper, the authors have gathered a data from different parts of the world, and they came across that. So the here we can see, so in this side, there are different ethnic population like Japanese, Indian, Chinese, Caucasian is and then African and American. So in this population, so these are the genes. TM presses to ERK. This is a gene which is upregulated. So the gene due to this gene rearrangement. Then again the ETV1, RAF, SPINK1, PTEN. So what in this review article, what authors have done, they have gathered the data about these genes, TM presses 2R, ETV1, RAF, SPINK1 and PTEN, and they have observed that there is a difference in the level of the this gene the like the genes are very differently upregulated or downregulated depending on the population. Like in Indian population, we can see that TM presses R is highly upregulated as compared to like RAF or the SPINK1. But if we'll see in African American, the SPINK1 is upregulation is higher as compared to TM presses R2. So this is what we say is a critical analysis. So So there are these different group of scientists have uh, published the different papers. Like some have published on African American, some then Caucasian, Chinese, then Indian population. But this group of authors, what they have done, they have gathered all the data for this group of genes, and then they have so here, like we can see the selection of topic. From the selection of topic, this topic is selected a prostate cancer. Again, in a prostate cancer there are hundred number of things which we can write, but they have just chosen the molecular discriminators, and in those discriminators also they have selected only some number of genes, and this number of genes, they have showed what are the only most important genes which are either upregulated or the downregulated or the gene rearrangement, whatever it is. And like I said, we can how we can write about the future or the like loopholes in that. So when we are studying here, we can say that there are some small cell carcinomas or unknown PCA drivers are there. So it is like unknown driver. So here we know why these genes are upregulated or downregulated, but here we don't know. So it's like a what we have concluded from the study and the uh, and here here we can see the concluding remarks. So conclusion, what they have drawn from the this review of literature. So so this is a very nice review. You can find on the website or any of the like Google Scholar. You can find this, and even this is like one of the best review in the cancer research. So if you have any questions, now tell me. I'm done with my presentation. Hello.
Yes. Thank you so much, Mr. Mahendra Phalecha. I would like to appreciate the fact that the presentation given by you will be extremely useful for the students and who are doing their project work and the thesis writing and working on a research topics. It will help students to write the review of literature in a scientific way. So the lecture delivered by you was very useful for the student. Very will be very useful for the student, and I hope all the student will get all the importance of how to write a review of literature properly in a scientific way. So thank you so much for delivering a inspiring lecture. I would also like to thank Mr. S.G. Kulkarni sir, Head Department of Biotechnology, Vivekanand College, Kolhapur, for taking out his valuable time and joining the presentation and encouraging us to organize this lecture. Thank you, sir. I hope all students are clear with all the doubts. If any doubts or queries are there, they can comment their question in the comment box and it will be answered by Mr. Mahendra Palecha, sir. Thank you so much for joining. Again, I would like to thank Kulkarni, sir, and Mr. Mahendra Palecha, sir, for joining uh, this session and delivering a very nice lecture. So thank you so much.